Welcome to Touch the World Radio Show, the Out of the Box Podcast Edition. I am your host, Jay Got Soul. You are tuned into episode 4 of the Out of the Box Podcast. Thank you all who are tuning in, and I'd like to ask you all to share this podcast so that we can reach as many people as possible. But before we get into the show, let's begin with a word of prayer. Dear Lord, thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for our guests who showed up today so that we can have a great discussion just about anything, that we're talking about. Just thank you for this opportunity. And God, we just ask you saturate this place with your spirit and allow us to have a great show. Thank you again. Amen. All right, so before we get started, do me a favor to head over to jgotsoul.com to read up on the articles I've taken time to produce. Also, go to my YouTube page and check out my first ever intimate interview titled Unbroken, which was released with the purpose of enhancing mental health awareness. Let me not forget to mention the merchandise with signature tees and hoodies. We will be releasing new products very soon. J Got Soul is an online platform that intends to educate about African American progress and challenge our community to take inventory of our finances so that we can focus on building generational wealth for our families. I guarantee you will not leave this site the same way you entered. All of your feedback is encouraged and welcome, and thank you in advance for your support. So tonight's topic is Grammy nominated. Our guest this evening is my sister cousin friend, Brittany Jackson. Brittany is a Grammy-nominated songwriter who has worked with the likes of artists such as Luke James, Tweet, Tank, Kanye West, to name a few. She also is a writer and producer of our intro song, and y'all heard that. That's super dope. So Brittany has been a huge inspiration to me spiritually. We built a very close relationship over the years, which I have been afforded the opportunity to experience the genius that she possesses. I'm excited about this dialogue this evening, so Touch the World family, help me welcome our guest this evening, Brittany Jackson. All right. So Brittany, let's talk about where your story began.
Okay, so South Central LA. Okay, let's get that out the way. My parents, my dad grew up in Memphis, Tennessee. Mom from Greenville, Texas. So Southern home, loving home, caring home, very musical home. And I don't know, just a lot of love and a lot of fun. It was always some kind of event we were doing. Friday nights we going to eat, or Sunday after church we're doing this. It was always something. So it was a very, I don't know, I enjoyed my childhood. It was a loving, caring, just fun
environment. Okay, so let's talk about our connection, how we met. Okay. We go back.
So first of all, I don't remember meeting you. I feel like people had to tell me that Uncle Wayne and Auntie Tanya weren't my real uncle and auntie.
Yeah.
So I didn't know until maybe like 9 or 10. So that was, that's when I met you. That's when I realized you weren't my biological family. But then it goes to babysitting, doing your hair,
all
that
the
you
stories.
never wanted to let me finish. All the scary stories I thought I was telling y'all, they were not scary at all. You guys would just laugh at me. And then basketball games. You and Melvin, y'all had basketball games. We had nothing, me and Chloe. But no, she did have stuff. I didn't. But I would just go with y'all. So that was my going out, because my mom wouldn't let us go nowhere. So that was us getting out. Yeah. That was fun. But yeah, and then church, of course. I think church was what brought the connection together. But
right.
It became family very fast. Yeah. And did not end.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think we ever not saw each other as family. We literally grew up in the church together. We did everything together.
Every single
choir
thing that you hated.
Practice, dance practice that I quit. I hated it. I'm done with this. So yeah, we did a lot together. So yeah, I agree. We did not have that distinction because the church is already family. Right. Grace Unlimited, which was once Believers Christian Fellowship, and we had Believers Christian Academy, so we were going to school together.
It was all time, just seeing each other at every time.
Every place. Yeah.
That was great.
Churches.
Though. That was fun.
3 days
I hated it growing
3
up,
times on Sundays.
but now that I look back, I'm like, that was kind of fun. That was cool.
Yeah, we did build some dope relationships.
Yeah.
Okay, so how were you introduced into music? You did say that, you come from a musical family.
Right. So yeah, music was in the house. My mom playing all the greats, right, and making us sing. Even now, at any time, my mom would just stop and go, more, and we got to sing John P. Keys, More Love. My dad was always playing like the hottest album in the car, from Kim Burrell to John P. Key. I know all of John P. Key. Like, you cannot touch me with that. And then school, we had music.
Yeah.
Church, there was music. We had workshops. It was just always music. So
yeah.
I don't think I understood that some people could not sing, or just, that wasn't a part of their life. I thought music was just everybody's thing, because that's what it was to me. It's
right.
always around. Yeah.
So when you started singing, like when you started to notice that you could sing, when was that?
I don't think I noticed. So my dad, Jesus, when my dad would go preach some places, thank God those people were like family. They didn't make fun of me or record me and post me now. But my dad would, before he would preach, if my mom wasn't singing the sermonic solo, I was singing it. Little kid, knew nothing about anything, but I was singing because he lives. Sounding dumb, but I was doing that because I was being obedient. Or singing at church, like when we had the Chosen Generation.
Yes.
No, Second Generation.
Second Generation, yes.
Second Generation. I led songs there and just felt like, oh, as soon as this is over, I'm going to go wash my face. But yeah, singing at church was just, lead this song, Brittany, do this, it was just singing. So I don't think I realized, like, I can sing. I think I found that out once I had, like, other friends that weren't in, like, the, Grace family now, but the Believers family. And they would be like, oh, you can sing. And I was just like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But I think that's when I realized I can sing, when there were others who thought they could not sing that would tell me that, I could sing. But that had to be, like third grade? Third, fourth grade? I didn't know. I was just doing it.
That's crazy, because, your whole family, you guys are talented.
Thank you.
You got Melvin, who plays the guitar.
Every instrument almost.
Yeah, every instrument, from the drums to the guitar. He can sing.
Yep.
Chanel, she can sing. I've never heard Ton sing.
She can sing.
She can sing, too. Okay. So, and then you got Aiden, who you're teaching him a little bit, about the singing.
He tries to tell me what to do. Like, you did that part wrong. And I'm like, little boy, if you want to live.
Yeah, so you guys definitely come from, some good cloth, like creatively as well.
Yeah, I think my parents, I think the first time I even learned about songwriting was when my parents, they wrote a song for a workshop for Clifton Edwards. This was, I don't know how old I was, but they wrote a song, The Light Has Come, that song. They wrote that song, my dad wrote that for that workshop, and I was just like, oh, songwriting. He made the song up. Well, that was cool. And then from that workshop, we went to the Ted and Sheila workshops, and I was just like, songwriting is the thing.
Yeah.
Then, come on, Eva, everybody wrote songs. Everybody sang. Music was just the thing. So it was
those workshops, boy.
Fun, okay?
Boy. Oh, man,
a lot of embarrassing moments, but a lot of fun too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think that's how I was introduced to the songwriting part of it.
Okay, so we're going to take a short break, and then we'll be right back with Brittany Jackson. Y'all sit tight.
Bring your youth, family, friends to Hip Hop Church LA Outreach Ministry. We have services on the third Sundays during the months of February, April, June, August, October, and December. We have artists who come and minister in rap, crump and praise dance, singers, and spoken word. Gigi Sweet is our DJ who keeps the praise party rocking. Service begin at 5 p.m. For more information, you can go to hiphopchurchla.org, call us at 323-557-3803, or email info@hiphopchurchla.org. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And always remember, don't get it twisted. God has always existed.
smile on my face. Baby, you know just what I want. Tell me that all of your good energy will be here before I know. You should be loved through my veins, and I let you. When I'm with you, nothing can go wrong if you're in control. Now, right now, you're saving me and making me crazy. At the same damn time, on a drug I know nothing about. Till now, right now, you're saving me and making me crazy. At the same damn time, I'm hooked and I don't want out. I wanna take a trip and float away, 'cause I don't really care about a thing, as long as you're here with me. I admit I am addicted to what you do to me when I let you in. It's what you do to me when I let you in. Just give it to me right now. Put a smile on my face. Gotta give me just what I want. Tell me that you would never say no to me. I need all you got and more. Now, right now, you're saving me and making me crazy. At the same damn time, on a drug I know nothing about. Till now, right now, you're saving me and making me crazy. At the same damn time, I'm hooked and I don't want out.
You are tuned in to Touch the World Radio Show, episode 4 of the Out of the Box podcast edition. You were just listening to Brittany Jackson Now. So if you guys, want to hear more of her music, she has a SoundCloud. We will definitely put it in the link on Facebook Live, so you guys can go check that out. So now we want to talk about, when did you start your journey with songwriting?
I think I was 16. Yeah, I was 16. So what's crazy, well, it may not be crazy, but what's interesting to me is that growing up, I could not sing around the house. Like, you know how people sing in the shower or they just hum? I could not, because I felt like people would hear me and I would just sound bad or something. Now, I would sing at church because I had to be obedient. But as far as singing, expressing like what I wanted to do, going different places, expressing my voice, no, never.
Okay.
Not until about 16. And I heard, whose album was that? I think it was Faith Evans. Faith Evans, Tweet, and one more person. I think Mary had an album out at the time. And I was like, I want to sing. I want to do this. And I remember my older sister being like, you do. What's your problem? And I'm like, no, I mean, like, for real. But, so Jason Allen, my cousin, gave me a CD of some tracks that he had been working on, and he probably just gave me the scraps, like, whatever, she's a child, whatever. And I took it and I wrote a song, and the first song I wrote was called Scarlet Fever. Don't ask what it was about. It probably made no sense. But I wrote that song, and I was just so like, oh my God, I feel like I just let it out. I let it out. And then I sang it for him, and he was like, oh, that's good. And I was like, maybe I need more work. But that was my first time writing a song. I was 16 years old, and I just felt like, I don't know, the feeling of getting my thought out. So God gave me something, I was able to convey it out. Because sometimes it's hard to, like, you know, get your thoughts out the way you
translate it properly.
Yes. So I was able to convey it and translate it the right way, and I liked it. And I was like, okay, this is cool. But that feeling, I just got addicted to it, and I was like, okay, I need to do more of this.
That's so dope.
Yeah. But I didn't write again until maybe 18, like the beginning of 18. No. I think that next year I started working. Yeah.
Okay.
But it was still like a...
Were you kind of like scared to... Okay.
And then with songwriting, it's weird because when you write with other people, it's like you want to make sure you don't want to step on toes. So like if I have an idea, like a full idea in my brain, it's like, I'm thinking, you got to act like you can't
timid.
just, you can't just be like, here's my idea. Because you may come off as hogging, you know, all the writing. And I hate that. Okay? Hate it. So I didn't fully start expressing myself with my songwriting until like maybe 21, 22.
Okay.
I'm saying it like those years are really far from each other.
I mean, but that's the
like
journey. That's the process.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense. So, what does music mean to you?
Ooh. So music can make my day. It can break my day. It can set a tone. It can set an atmosphere. And then being that I'm very nostalgic, I can play something from when I was like 4th grade, 5th grade, well, 6th grade, and just really live that whole time back. You know, music just feels so good.
Yeah.
And then also finding funny music is hilarious to me too. You know, I'll be sending you all types of stuff. I don't know, just music is just, because it's a part of me, it works. It can be very therapeutic and just fix a bad day. And I like that. And then writing music is like getting out what I need to get out, almost like journaling. Yeah. So that's my journal session.
So when did you find your voice? Because I know, like, you know, there's, like, for me right now doing this, it took a while for me to find my voice. For a long time, you know, I was kind of mute. Like, you barely get much out
Angry,
of me.
but okay.
yeah, because that's the only thing I express. But, like, now I'm finding a voice to say, oh, I don't like this. You know, so when did you find, like, your voice?
I think that came around the time, I want to say who was I writing with? I'm trying to think what project I was working on. I could have just been at the house writing. When I was able to have a studio at the house and just work every day, and I used to pray, God, please let me be able to work every day, all day doing music. And I finally was able to do that. It was just, I would do 3-4 songs a day. It was just so much fun. And my thing is finding a track or a song where it seems impossible to write to. Like the format is weird, or just how now was. Like the bridge was before the second verse, and that is heaven to me. Okay, it's like a puzzle, and I need to solve it. Yeah. So I think just being able to write all the time, I was able to figure out what I like to do, the things I don't like to do, how I want my levels to be. You know, just what I want to say and what I want to do versus just writing to write. Because at first I was just writing for artists, and that's a very different thing. Because you have to write to fit that artist. Okay. So even when I was writing with, should I say her name? Whatever. I was writing with Britney Spears, and I remember the first few songs I did, they were like, no. Who was that for? That's not for her. And I had to realize, oh, you have to write for people, like make it fit them. Yeah. So I had to switch it up, but then it became a job. Yeah. So once I got to express myself and do what I wanted to do again, and just write music that, you know, I wanted to write, I was like, I am Britney.
When did you shift? When was that shift? From writing for people,
like as a job?
Yeah. To writing for yourself and enjoying the process.
I think when I met Luke James, my writing partner, I think it was kind of liberating for both of us, because we didn't do that songwriter thing where we got an idea. We didn't do that thing. We didn't do I knew that I could write for him, and whatever I did, he could do. He knew the same thing for me. And we were writing for different artists, but once he was like, okay, I'm going to do an album, it was just fire. I was ready. And to me, those songs, because we were both in relationships at the time that were very rocky, we were able to express the good times, the bad times, and really just put it all in music, which is why some of the songs was like 13 minutes. But all of it was there in those songs. And to me, those songs were spiritual. Like,
they were.
You came to the studio?
Yes.
Man, that stuff just felt so good. And even now, like, playing it, I'm just like, oh.
It still has the same effect.
I love it.
Yeah, I remember being in the studio listening, and just like you guys were doing Mo Better Blues at that time.
Oh, yeah.
And I just remember like the vibe in there was electric. It was like, you knew that you guys were coming from the heart.
It just felt so good.
Yeah, and
that
then the way
fun.
he sings, it's like heaven.
What?
Like, bro,
that dude can sing.
Yes,
he can sing.
Like,
so.
I'm telling you, if you check his catalog, you're gonna be hooked for a long time, because he has so many hits.
Yeah,
things that he hasn't even put out yet. I'm still in love with.
Exactly.
You know,
and it's that stuff. He's just he has so much soul. And he knows where to place it. It's very tasteful. So that was a lot of fun. And then not to mention the producer we were working with, Danger Hands, crazy. So it was like he allowed us to explore as well, because he had all types of composition that we could just write to. It was, around that time was fun. In life it was weird, but in the studio it was great. I really enjoyed myself because I was able to be Britney. Yeah. Without holding back, without, it was great.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Okay. Well, we're going to take another break, and we will be right back. You're going to hear I See You by Brittany Jackson.
Oh my God.
Shinwear, God's Clothing, a new blazing flammable Christian line, ready to shine with bright colors, characteristic, current popular trend, honoring of God's name Shin, with style and fashion. Go and get at www.shinwear.online. Blessings and miracles.
Hey family, this is Lady Eva J. I wanted to take this time to have a serious conversation with you. I have been given a new assignment to touch the world in a different way. Our lives have all been shifted in this recent pandemic, and we have lost family, friends, and loved ones. Here's the hard part. No one wants to talk about being insured. Well, my new assignment is to educate families on how to financially invest in themselves, while also making sure they're covered correctly when God calls them home. Do you have life insurance? Do you know what you really have? Are you sure you're covered in the correct way? Have you invested so you don't have to pay life insurance your whole life? Yes, I said your whole life. Well, let's talk about it. Let's make sure our families don't have to find money to lay us to rest. Call me at 323-494-9585. Once again, that's 323-942-9585. And let's have a brief conversation about it. After all, I'm here to serve you. This is Lady Eva J, and I'm out.
Still, I understand the reason for your farewell, the reason you didn't tell. It's okay with me. Take your wings.
You are tuned in to Touch the World Radio Show. You were just listening to the angelic sounds of Brittany Jackson, hearing the song I See You. So we're going to get back into it. Yeah. So we're going to get back into it, and I just wanted to find out, are you working on any projects right now?
Yes, I am. So the song you just heard was St. Metanoia Avenue, which is a group with myself, my little brother Melvin, Melvin Jackson Jr., I'm sorry, and then Tawante Price. That project is called 1818, and we did that in 2018. We're working on new stuff right now, and I'm so excited. I'm also working with a few other producers on some projects they're working on, but I'm really excited about our new project because it's definitely going to be different, and it's crazy.
I mean, your sound is already, it's yours, like, and I say, that's why I say it's angelic. I love your voice because it's very, angelic, and it just makes you feel positive energy as you're singing. So I'm looking forward to that project.
Thank you.
I might be the other person. I might jump in the group or something.
You gotta
I gotta jump in the group, right? I'm just kidding. But so what's your favorite song that you wrote or that you helped co-write?
Favorite
out of all the songs that you've written, because I know
That's
it's
tough.
so many.
My favorite. Okay, so that one that we just played, I enjoyed writing that one, but it came from a place of pain. My granny passed away in 2015. I think that was 15. And I wrote that song for her. She passed away from cancer, and I was so mad at cancer. Still kind of am. So I wrote that song about that, about her journey and how it had to be horrible not telling anyone.
Yeah.
So I wrote that song because I was very angry about it. And then after a while, I was like, I get it. Take your wings, Granny. I get it. So I just wrote the song. That was kind of my grief, one of the things I did in the grieving process. Another song, since we're kind of going dark, sorry.
Let's go.
I don't remember what year it was, but I had like really, really bad mental health at the time.
Okay.
And I was contemplating suicide. I couldn't find a place of peace. It was just so much going on in my mind, and I couldn't quiet it. And I remember one of the times that I thought I was going to have a moment, my little son walks in and says, "Don't worry, Mom." And I was like, "That's God." Oh,
the angel
God.
kid.
So I wrote a song called Guardian Angel. Of course, I flipped it and tried to make it about love, but it was definitely about that moment. And every time I hear that song, it just reminds me that I did not stop. I kept going.
Yeah.
Even though it was hard, I still kept going. And thank God I found a place of peace, and, I was okay. Even just that he kept me, because I could have been gone.
Right.
So when I hear that song, it's like the testimony of that. You know how we always talk about building an altar? When you go through things, that's like a song that's kind of like an altar. So
Yeah.
That's one of my faves. And then the songs where I just do like my vocal stuff and make it go backwards. I'm such a nerd. I like doing that kind of stuff. It's fun.
Yeah.
It becomes a whole different song. So I love that.
So what artists have you done where you were able to explore that?
The backward stuff.
Because I know it's Just Different by Tiana Taylor.
I was about to say that. Yeah, that's and I think she put that in one of her videos too, like one of the more recent videos.
Okay.
It's just like my vocal going backwards. I don't know that song, the newest one, but Just Different. I did that. We have a whole backward song on St. Metanoia Avenue's album, and then I did like just a lot of vocal stuff on the Luke James Whispers in the Dark album. I think that was a mixtape, not an album.
Yeah, it was definitely, because I've been looking for it and I can't seem to find.
It was a mixtape.
Yeah.
It's probably on YouTube, but
it is. It's on YouTube, but it's not like, I like Tidal. So I'm looking on Tidal, trying to get all his music and all of the good stuff.
Yeah,
like not all of the good stuff, because he has a lot of great stuff.
But the stuff that's unreleased that you were there for the creation of.
Yeah.
That album, I did a lot of vocal stuff, and to me, the vocal stuff is more fun because one lady told me I sound like She said my voice haunts her, and I was like,
Don't sound
whoa.
too nice.
I was like, okay, you're welcome. Like, what do you want me to
Right.
say? And she was like, no, I'm just saying, like, when I leave, it stays in my head. And I was like, in a good way? Like, it's not nightmares, right?
Right.
And she was like, no, I really enjoy your voice. I was like, okay, next time just start out with that. But I love doing vocal stuff, too. So a lot of stuff I'm on vocally, and I may have not written lyrics, but that still counts as composition. So
Can you name any songs?
I was on Tank, what's the title? This Is How I Feel. I did... I wrote I Want You, but on I Want You, it's vocal stuff on there. The Teyana Taylor song. There's vocal stuff on... I should have brought a list.
I know a couple because I've been listening to it all week. Strawberry Vapors.
Yes.
Yeah. That's a dope song.
I
Y'all
pinned
listen
that
to
one too, but that Strawberry Vapors, that pretty much all the songs in there on that album, the mixtape.
I found Love Child recently.
Ooh, yes.
That's a really good one.
You know which one? I wish Break the Rules would have got put on YouTube.
Oh
somehow.
yeah, that's a dope one too.
But it's like 13 minutes, so it's probably why it's not on
Dang,
there.
I forgot about that one.
That
And
one was
Heartbeat.
fire. Heartbeat, yeah. And we
Yes.
make that, so I like to do this too. I like to make the track vocally. So I may not have any musical instruments, but we'll,
Yeah.
you know. So that song, we use the mic, breath, and I think just vocals. Yeah. That song was a lot of fun too, just because we created it out of nothing. What happened was the producer wasn't there, so we were like, "We got the studio time.
See, that's
We
the
about to
genius
work
in
this."
y'all, man.
Thank you. It was fun to me. It was great, and we had just had some. I remember that day. We had just had some tacos. Jesus. Okay.
So that's where the breath came
Listen,
out.
that's the fuel. That might probably stink, but it don't matter. We had a lot of fun with that song though. Because with it being about a heartbeat, we were able to make the sounds out of you know stuff. That was fun.
Yeah. Okay. So, who was your favorite? I mean, I would say I think it's Luke, but who's your favorite artist or artists that you work with?
To work, definitely him. And I told you why. Just the fact that we had that freedom with each other.
Yeah.
So Luke James. So you know how there's a celebrity you like. And you finally meet them and they're just a butt and you're like, oh, and you kind of don't have that like anymore. Well, I was, in my mind, I was best friends with Tweet.
Okay.
I was her best friend, okay? And then I met her and she was so sweet and cool and now we're friends. And I was like, I told you we was friends. I knew it. But she, such a sweetheart. And then we're both goofy. It just worked.
Yeah.
So I like working with her too. And she allowed me to be free as well.
Okay.
Because I thought that I needed to write for her, but she was like, "Girl, go live your life," and I did.
Yeah.
I lived my life. So that was fun too. Favorites. I like working with my brother and Tuanse.
Okay.
That's fun. And then Danger Hands too. I don't know. I've had fun with a lot of people for different reasons, and it could just be where I was in that moment. And being nostalgic, I go back to those feelings and you know live it out. But Danger Hands as a producer is crazy, and he allowed me to have that freedom too. You don't find that in the industry, which is why I keep saying that.
Yeah.
I just feel like you're stuck in the box, and it becomes a job, and it's just like I'm doing this for the money, and I'm just trying to kiss people's butt to get on a song, and I do not believe in that.
Yeah.
So, no. I remember one time there was a session where it was like 15 or 16 people in there, and we were all trying to get a word in, and people were like, don't say say who. And I was like, okay, I'm leaving. If we're worried about one word here, just so we can get a percentage, let's not. I'm not Britney, no. Not that I was rich.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
Right.
It'll break my spirit more than anything, so I left.
Okay.
I went to Bossa Nova.
That's your favorite spot. Okay. All right. So we're gonna take our final break, and we're going to come right back. So you guys listen to this final song from Miss Brittany Jackson called "Need."
I like this too.
Hoping and praying that I'll be okay. Ever since I walked away
right, we're back, and you're tuned in to Touch the World Radio Show. We are in studio with Brittany Jackson. So, Brittany, what was that experience like when you were a part of the Kanye West Sunday service?
Sunday service experience was a surprise. What did I think going into it? It was like, okay, go. If you like it, cool. If you don't leave, right? But it was... I was able to worship. I love doing that. I was able to travel. I love doing that. And I was able to touch lives of people who I probably would have never gotten to, even come in contact with. So that was a lot of fun. The rehearsals they didn't feel like work because there were so many talented people. Like everybody in that choir is a powerhouse. Yeah. Every single person. Like there's no one where you're like, oh, no, each and every one of them. So that was great. It was definitely a spiritual battle too. Like you knew you were on a mission. So every rehearsal, every show, every single part of the workings of that was like a spiritual battle. Like you knew you had to fight, Yeah. So I think my faith grew a lot too. I also wasn't able to go to church every Sunday. Yeah. So that was tough. Yeah, that part was tough on me, but I think it helped mature me as well. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. Trying to think of the best show that we did. I think my favorite one was in Jamaica. Number one, Jamaica is one of my favorite places. But the show in Jamaica was a lot of fun because the setup was different and we were all uncomfortable, but it forced us to really like go in. So that was a lot of fun. I met so many great people. I have so many new friendships that, me, I'll be in my house and that's it. So I'm glad I did. I'm glad I stepped out and did it because I wouldn't have met those people and I wouldn't have challenged myself. Vocally, I challenged myself as well because I wanted to be a tenor and they would not let me. They wanted me to be an alto, and that alto was not alto. It was soprano. No, that's who? Yeah. Who's singing that? Yeah. It was you, Brittany. It was me.
Reminds me of back in the day.
What? I was like, remember I said low? They said no. So, but it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of challenges, but like I said, I like to explore challenges just to see like how I could push myself and what I can do. So it was great. I enjoyed it.
So I wrote an article called Little Africa Reboot. And in that article, I referenced the Kanye West Sunday service because, like in the article, I wanted to bring to light the fact that the African American church has produced so much superior talent. And that was the most telling experience. Just to even see it, I'm like, I'm writing about this right now. This is it. This is it. They hire the best all across the world. And now you get to see, and for me it was interesting because I got to see people I personally knew go out there, and I'm like, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Like, we're giving so much of our power away to the discoverers, and we're the ones who, not we, but I ain't no singer, but like you guys are.
Have you sing a solo right now?
Because you guys are, you guys are going out there doing that, and you're working with the best, and they're coming from all different churches. Why don't those churches get the credit?
I think the church is always, well, not all churches, but there are a lot of churches I know in the past and a lot of churches now who feel like they look down upon you singing secular music or worldly music. Okay. But other jobs are worldly. Like, you work for the county, that's not for the Lord. Yeah. Okay? You can work for the Lord while you're there, but you get what I'm saying. That's not a godly job. It's not at the church. But I think when it comes to music, it's a different, situation. So I think... First of all, there are tons of people in the music industry that come from the church, like you're saying, but people don't know it because it's just like, oh, that's the background singer, or that's, the person on The Voice, or America's Got Talent. But you don't know their backings is right in the church, right on some corner in LA, right? But I think because it's looked down upon in a sense that you don't get the credit, you know?
Yeah. That makes sense, but I think that should change because at the end of the day, we have that aspect, and we got HBCUs. If we connected those two together, now we have a powerhouse, and now we're using our tribal, tribal, community, and we're creating what we need.
Right. And creating jobs. Yeah. Creating freedom. You already know. I think a lot of mental health issues come from our own circles telling us no,
Yeah.
no, not letting us be who we are, you
Yeah.
know? And I think that that's very important. I think parents, I think churches, I think everyone should try to figure out how to nurture the children versus how to, don't do that, that's not good for you, or don't do, you can tell kids not to do something, but I think if you lead them in a way, they still get to be themselves instead of us all being robots.
Right.
Then we have to find ourselves at what, 30?
Right.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
No one should wait till 30 to find themselves, because then
Right.
you're going to be wilding.
Yeah.
I ain't got no money for people to be wilding.
So I wanted to know your thoughts on the controversy surrounding, because we're talking about mental health, surrounding Kanye West in the mental health aspects of, what's going on with him in the public eye.
I feel like instead of, well, I'll talk about the church first. I feel like instead of the church, here's what they do now. Instead of the church just giving their opinions, really it's on Facebook. I kind of feel like Facebook should be called Church Book. But maybe that's just the people I follow. Let me take that back. I don't take it back. I feel like instead of church leaders or church people, whoever you are, or just people in general, instead of you giving your opinion, why not pray or give positive energy or try to figure out what's going on? Because I think it's foreign until it's you.
Yeah.
Somebody in your family has a mental illness and you like, don't do him like that because he's struggling. Okay,
Right.
so it's Kanye, and you were like this to him. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? So we judge when it's not us. We judge when it's not familiar or if it's not what we're going through. And I don't think that that's okay. I think we should be trying to figure out what help we can give him or
Find some
pray him
resources
through. Yeah,
to
listen.
understand it. Too.
Educate yourself.
Yeah, because I mean, like, especially when he started, when the whole thing about Kanye 2020 came about, and it's like people want to throw darts at him, and I think, of course, because he has more, like following, and he
Yeah.
has, he's out there. People have a chance to put their mouths in a situation where they have no business. Like, at the end of the day, everybody has their own mental health situation that we need to manage.
Yes.
So the fact that we're spending so much time on the internet talking down to somebody else and neglecting our own issues is already a big issue.
And that shows that you need resources as well.
Right.
If all you're doing is judging people on the internet,
Right.
okay, big and mighty you are, right?
Right.
Go get some help. We all
Right.
need help. Let's just
Right.
all take care of our brains. Let's all help each other in this, because this is not a popular topic in the inner cities. You know what I mean? Like, this shouldn't be something where we look down on somebody. I think we should pray for him. We should try to encourage him and help him, and I think that should be it.
Right.
I don't think it should be an opinion
Right.
about, well, what I feel. No one asked.
Right.
No one.
Right. Yeah.
And what you feel doesn't help.
Right. Okay. So we're getting ready to wrap up, but one last question before we do. What advice would you have for someone who is up and coming and they're trying to get started with their writing or singing experience?
I feel like I don't think you can learn how to sing or you can learn how to write. Well, people do, but I think it's best when it's authentic. I feel like just practice, because you end up learning who you are and what it is to you. I think even with my writing, I always go back and edit. It can only get better. You know what I mean? So I think just finding your voice, finding who you are, finding your personality in music, finding your sound, not making up your sound, but finding your sound and just exploring the different things and study. I think it's important to study. You need to know how to mix. You need to know how to get the right engineers and stuff. I think that's very important. And then having relationships with people, because your music's not for you, it's for other people. So either in sharing music or having relationships with other producers and other writers. But no matter what, you gotta be a people person, but you need to learn how to have relationships.
Okay, so you guys heard it here. Do us a favor. Go ahead and check out Brittany's SoundCloud. She has a bunch of music on there that you would love. If you loved her music tonight, you'll definitely love it. And also, I will be adding my info out. I still want you guys to go and check out my YouTube interview. We're talking about mental health, and I'm sharing my personal experience. And also go on the website, check it out, read up. And also, if you want to, support the movement, buy you some gear.
Let's get that merch.
Yes, we're gonna be releasing some new stuff really soon. So you guys go ahead and check that out. But we're gonna wrap up the show this evening. Thank you all for tuning in to the show. Our in-studio guest this evening gave us some great nuggets. So let's take that.
And thank you for having me.
No problem. This has been fun. We're gonna have to do it again. All right. We
At
hope
home.
you guys enjoyed the show. We'll be back in the studio December 6th. You never know who we're gonna have in the studio next. So y'all be sure to tune in. Y'all have a great night. We're out.
Hands up in the sky.